Get into some sports, and let's get into some football, because football, believe it or not, folks, locally will start on Sunday. The Westshore Rebels open their season, and on the line is J.C. Boice, the head coach and general manager of the Westshore Rebels. J.C., how are you, sir?
Hey, Mark, I'm doing great. How you doing, buddy?
I'm fantastic, sir. How was training camp, Coach?
Busy, fierce. We had a whole lot of kids out there really hungry to get better. We started a culture shift, there last year. We became really competitive. I had a tremendous offseason. We had about 30 local kids that, were in our new training facility out there in Westshore 5 days a week. We brought in about 35, 40 kids out of province. And, Mark, we are ready to compete. I think we're going to be a very explosive team this year.
That's what I'm reading. I read a couple of articles, Times Columnist, and also the Goldstream News Gazette was talking about this, interviewing some of the players. All very, very pumped, all speaking very highly of you and your new coach, and I'll let you talk about him in just a moment. But you had 3 consecutive 2-8 seasons. You were only a part of that once. From everybody that's been quoted in these articles that I've read, that ain't going to happen this year. And you're not just looking to make the playoffs. You're looking to go deep into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, we want to be, not only competitive at the BC level, we want to be, competitive at the national scene. We're not afraid to say that, hey, we're ready to compete at the national level. And that's not just a broad statement. We've put in the work. We've been real strategic. As mentioned, we brought in a great new coach, Shane Beatty. He is a force of nature. He really loves these kids. He's a very skilled strength and conditioning coach. He's taken over defense. Got some other coaches we've brought in that have really bought in, and we know we have to do now. I got my feet underneath me last year. Yes, we were 2-8, but we lost 2 games at one point. We were only a couple of points from being a 5-5 team, and honestly, these kids learned how to compete. We finished every game stronger than we started, and so the build began, and now the build really accelerated. And I don't make sure we're not overconfident, but there's definitely a quiet confidence in the air. The kids have put in the work. Well, there's no secrets, just hard work.
It sounds like they did. I'm taking this, and I won't read directly. That would be cheating. But the Goldstream News Gazette, Don Descoteaux had something that you said here, and I found that really telling. First of all, talking about the new assistant coach, Shane Beatty, who, by the way, came from the Okanagan Sun, so he's a winner, and he won last year, right? So he comes in. He's got this reputation of being a real guru when it comes to conditioning and getting people into shape. And you're quoted as saying this: during the summertime, you were getting 50 to 60 kids consistently 5 to 6 days a week. It's a great testament to how awesome these kids are. So these guys are really working hard, and they've got the right attitude.
We really tried to assemble a roster of young men that this community can be proud of. I mean, really, really proud of. You're going to see several of these kids are going to go on, I think, play on CFL teams. Last year we sent Hunter Lake, down south, playing the U.S. NCAA. Quite a few of these kids on this roster, I think, will end up on NCAA rosters. Many are going to go on the CAS rosters. And they're the kind of kids that the employers would hire, people would be comfortable around. And, yeah, it's a strong testament to the family they've built and, the work we're starting to get done and the belief they have in each other and in our coaches and collectively as a family, as an organization, what we're building.
And you're building it not just with people and players, but you're building it with the right sort of environment. Tell us about the facility that's been built around West Hill Stadium.
Yeah, well, we got some local guys out there in Westshore. Bob Saunders, that guy's way more than just a car salesman. What he gives this community is amazing. Les Biola from Turner Lane Development out there, and Roger Wade, city councilman. And quite a few guys took the opportunity to really say, hey, what do we need to do to be competitive and again, be competitive at that national level. And I said, we need a facility. Junior football tends to be fragmented. It's a big roster, from 60, 70, 80 kids. And, it's very difficult to compete against CIS teams, competing to getting those kids in. And so we privately, a couple people stepped up. I invested some. We had those gentlemen come together and get us a big, huge building. We bought turf and laid the turf down, and we got almost 40,000 pounds of weights. And kids have been in there running, lifting, becoming explosive moving athletes, since February. And it really, you go out and visit one of our practices, you'll be shocked at the athletes, the body types we have out there now.
Yeah, I'm seeing some of the statistics here. There's a couple of kids that are pretty impressive. Jake Hall is 6'11", 315 pounds. Obviously, he's on the O-line. He's in his 4th year, but you got some real studs in there. I want to get to your quarterbacking because that's the glory position. That's what people look for. It's so unfair in football because football is such a team sport, and just one position, everybody's got to contribute or else, it's not going to work. But here's the thing. Your quarterback situation, your quoted as saying they are deadlocked. And you were talking about Scott Borden, who played with St. Mary's with the Huskies last year, along with Ashton McKinnon, who's out of Mount Doug here. So at this point, do we know who's starting on Sunday?
Yeah, we do, and we'll release that Sunday. Both those kids are winners. Ashton, he was a superstar for Mount Doug, and then he went on to University of Manitoba and competed there, and ultimately decided that he was better served going to trains. He wants to be a builder, and he came back last year. Before he got injured, he was really starting to find his feet. One game, he set a BCSC record. He had over 400. He had like 437 yards. He was like 26 for 31, so incredibly efficient. But he went down injured. He'd worked his tail off all season long. Just a couple weeks ago, he power cleaned 305 pounds. That's a massive amount of weight for quarterback. And then Scott Borden is a young man from Halifax who wanted to change his scenery. Love the kid. I mean, he's a very explosive athlete. He's a great leader, very, very good decision maker, got a very, very strong arm. They're both going to see the field, all the time. There'll be several times we have both of them on field. I'm kind of a creative guy offensively, and don't be surprised to see some trick plays when they both end up throwing the ball one play.
So you might put one as a receiver and might have some sort of a trick play, or are you talking about maybe having them in tandem?
No. We dial up some trick plays. That's kind of fun. The kids, we did that last year very successfully, and last year we had 3 different quarterbacks on the field at one time. Playing. One be quarterback, the other 2 receivers. So, yeah, there's lots of guys to talk about. Everybody wants to talk about the quarterback. Truth is, they get
I know, and I apologize for that.
No, they get too much the credit when things go good, and they get too much blame when things don't go good. But I like both our guys at quarterback. I really, really do.
Okay, so you've got the game coming up against the Langley Rams. That's Sunday at West Hill Stadium in Langford, 4 o'clock. That's the season opener for you guys. It's a 10-game season, am I correct?
Yep, 10 games plus playoffs. We got 5 home games, 5 road games, and then then we're going to fight hard to get home field playoffs.
What do you think that'll take? Do you think that'll take a 6-4 or a 7-3 season for that to happen?
I think we need to win 7-8 games. We're just going to go one game at a time though. This weekend we're going to fight really hard to be 1-0 against Langley. They're a lot of people have them as the number one team in BC this year. They've got very good coaching, very explosive athletes. And we're stepping right into the crux, right fast. We're going to play against a very, very good Langley team. So we're going to get challenged, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Neither would these kids. Yeah,
that's the best way to do it, is right off the mark is boom. You got to start, hit the ground running.
Yeah, I think so. And like I say, they forced us to really prepare, and then we come right back with another home game, July 30th, 7 o'clock evening game against our rival up island, the Namo Raiders, the VI Raiders. They're a very decorated, team, and that's always a very spirited game. So we got a tough schedule to start out with, and we're ready.
Okay, just a couple of seconds left. We're with J.C. Boice, the head coach and the general manager of the Westshore Rebels. The season kicks off Sunday at 4 at West Hill Stadium in Langford. Tickets still available, and if so, how can people get their hot little hands on them?
We've got a great new online service now. If you go to our website, westshorerebels.ca, you can click right in there to the tickets, and then also, you can just show up. Although if you wait till you show up, we've got numbered seating this year, so we have some really nice VIP sections. And then if you show up for general admission, you may get pushed a little bit off to the side, but people can also just walk up and buy their tickets as well. We got some family packages. We got a new game day coordinator, Amanda Reed, who's done a great job of really creating a family environment, and it's just going to be a fun afternoon of football and fun stuff.
Listen, we wish you the best here at CFAX 1070. You're always a gentleman, and you've been a great addition to our community, and obviously a great addition to the Westshore Rebels. We wish you the best, JC. Good luck this season.
Thanks, Mark. We'll see you out there Sunday.
You bet. Have a great week and have a great weekend, and have a great game on Sunday. That's J.C. Boice, the GM and the head coach of the Westshore Rebels. They take on Langley at West Hill Stadium on Sunday afternoon.